It is time for my first YouTube video ever. Hey everybody, I'm Jazz, and if you know me from TikTok and Instagram, then welcome back. But if you're new here, then welcome. I thought a lot about what my first YouTube video should be, and honestly, I had a ton of ideas, but I decided to just do an everyday makeup routine, get ready with me / get to know me vibe. So I'm gonna show you all the products that I use for an everyday natural makeup look, and I'm gonna answer some questions that I get in my DMs all the time, just so we can really get to know each other. So first I'm gonna start off with brows. I always start off with brows. I use these two in combination. And the reason I always start off with brows is because if I put concealer or foundation near my brow area and then I use a brow gel, it just gets like gooey and gross. So if you have trouble with your brows, always do them first. So as I've already said, I'm Jazz and I am North Carolina based. I live really close to Charlotte, and most people only know North Carolina for Raleigh or Charlotte, or Asheboro, which is where the zoo is at, and that's where I was born. I've pretty much grown up in North Carolina my whole life. I went to UNC Chapel Hill for college, and I graduated
2 years ago? No, 1 year ago. Oh my god, when did I graduate?
I'm class of 2021, so I guess that was last year. Right? Graduated from UNC Chapel Hill, class of 2021, and I graduated with a bachelor's degree in exercise and sports science. I always thought I was gonna do something related to exercise and sports science because I really loved sports and to exercise and to work out. Like, it was just honestly the only career field I saw myself in. And then you get the classic, you know, and then COVID hit. Also, I get comments all the time saying that my eyebrows don't match, and just remember, they're meant to be sisters, not twins. And honestly, I think it's because this brow bone is a little lower, but they look fine. We're fine. So anyways, COVID hit around junior year, and that kind of made me start to think about what I actually really wanted to do. And I think I realized that I just did not want to go to grad school. Grad school was just not the place for me to be. In fact, I wanted to take a long break from school. I was so tired of school. I went from elementary, middle school, high school, directly to college with no breaks, and that's just a lot. Now I'm using the Kosas Brow Pop Pen, and I'm just filling in some little gaps that I have. So once COVID hit and I went remote in school, I did the classic, you know, I finally downloaded TikTok. I downloaded TikTok and I started sharing my beauty tips, beauty knowledge, like any tutorials I had, especially when it came to skincare. And they started doing so good, it honestly just motivated me to keep making them. I loved the fact that I was making videos on things that I already knew or things that I was doing, and people were actually finding them helpful. Like, that was so validating for the content that I was already creating. Now we're gonna go in with the color corrector because I know you see those bags. We're going in with the color corrector. This is the one by Bobbi Brown in the shade Light Peach. I hit 10K on TikTok fairly quick, and honestly, that just encouraged me to keep making more content. I'm gonna go in with concealer, and I'm using the Born This Way. This is my favorite concealer. It is my go-to concealer. It never fails me. I mean, I have a ton of other favorite concealers, but this one is just my go-to. Like, it never ever fails me. So I was doing TikTok and I was doing school, and I had a job. I used to work at my school gym, and I had my small business, which I still have, and many of you know as Press Glow. I'm gonna go ahead and lay down my foundation. I always like to put down my foundation first, just so the concealer has some time to just like set on my face before I blend it out. Quitting my school job just made the most sense because it was the middle of COVID, like no one was in school, and it took a long time for me to even go back to like in-person school. I don't think I ever fully did. And that is exactly what I do today. I do content creation, social media, and I manage my skincare business. As I mentioned before, I live in Charlotte and I share an apartment with my boyfriend of almost 2 years and my 2 cats, which if you follow me on any other social media, you have seen my cats because I show them off like crazy. Honestly, it's kind of annoying. I am a crazy cat mom. They are so spoiled. Like, they eat quail eggs for dinner. Like, they are crazy spoiled. But I love my cats. We're not gonna, I could talk about them for this whole rest of the video, but we're not gonna do that. So now my foundation is blended out. I love this foundation. It has such a good like finish. It looks like skin. It doesn't feel heavy. It doesn't look cakey and never like creases on me. It's just honestly a really good foundation. And I used this It Cosmetics brush to blend it out. I feel like it gives me the most prettiest finish ever. And now we're gonna blend out our concealer, and I'm just using a Morphe blender. So now we got past the, you know, most boring part, like where I grew up, schooling, education, career. I totally forgot to mention I am 23 years old and I am a Cancer. So the whole crybaby stuff, honestly, I'm not a huge like zodiac person or like astrology person, but honestly, that stuff, like every time I see a post about a Cancer, I'm like, that is me. So maybe I should start looking into that. So now let's talk about the juicy stuff. Every time I post my boyfriend on Instagram, I get so many questions asking me like, how did I meet him? Like all the personal juicy details, which I get it. I'm nosy. I would want to know too. I've actually known my boyfriend since we were little kids. We used to go to the same church together in my dad's old hometown here in North Carolina. So now I'm going in with the Kosas Cloud Set, and I'm just gonna use this Halo Elf setting powder puff thing. So yeah, me and my boyfriend, we never talked until I was 16. We started talking when we were in high school, but we only really talked for a few months, and we didn't live in the same city and we didn't go to the same school. So we never saw each other, and honestly, we just fell off. He got into a relationship and then I got into a relationship in college as well. And we really never talked again until one day I was at a party in college, and mind you, he went to a different college, right? I'm at a party and oh my God, I remember I was like, I must have had too much to drink, because why is this man standing in the kitchen of this house party right now? Like, he was there. Like, mind you, he went to school 2 hours away. Like, his college was 2 hours away and he was just there. And I mean, I guess North Carolina isn't that like big and you can visit other colleges, but still, I was so like, is he really here right now? I forgot to mention, I always use this combination when I don't want like heavy powders on my face. This powder is so light and it really just does a good job at setting all of my concealer and foundation without taking away my glow or without like piling it on and looking too cakey. So yeah, this is my go-to. And if you don't want your eyes to crease, I just use this little combination of a little brush and the powder, and I grab just a little bit and I look up and I just like feather it in there, and then my eyes don't crease, at least not for a while. So yeah, this man is literally standing in the kitchen. I'm gonna go in with the Makeup by Mario medium dark, and I always just dab it onto my brush and then directly to my skin. He's standing in the kitchen, and honestly, I did not go up to him because I'm very introverted and I still am, and honestly that has gotten in the way of so many things in my life, but what can you do? You know, just anxiety things. I actually ended up seeing him at a party at my school like 4 more times, and I still didn't go up to him, and like we would make eye contact, but I'd be like, I'm not going up to you. That was pre-COVID, and then after COVID, I did not see him anymore, obviously, because there was no reason for him to be coming. There were no more parties, and I was not going to any parties. Then late in 2020, very late in 2020, I actually reached out to him, and I was like, do you want to grab some coffee? And honestly, this is your sign. This is your sign to just slide in his DMs, because I mean, what's the worst that can happen? They can leave you on R, and that would be very, I would die, but that's not what happened. He agreed, and he was like, yeah, let's go out for coffee. And we ended up having our technically first date, and we've known each other since we were kids, and we had just had our first date in 2020. That's crazy. Now I'm gonna use the same bronzer and this brush. I love this brush. This is the Morphe M164. I'm gonna use these in combination for my nose contour. It is the perfect combination. After our first date, we hit it off so well. Like, things honestly just took a turn. We had second and third dates that would last like 2 days, 3 days. Our fourth or fifth date lasted, I'm not kidding you, like 5 days. That's crazy. So again, this is your sign to just slide in his DMs. Like literally, what is the worst that can happen? Again, he can leave you on R, but besides that, you guys could hit it off and then get an apartment together and now have 2 kids. I'm gonna go in with this bronzer just on top just to kind of set the bronzer I put on before. If you want the most natural look, always bring your nose like bronzer contour up like where your brow is up here, and it just creates the most like perfect like shadow. That is beautiful. Because I'm doing like an everyday natural makeup look, I'm gonna use the same powder bronzer and a fluffy crease brush. I'm just gonna put it all over the crease, and again, this just creates a much like, what's the word I'm looking for, like cohesive maybe. Now we're gonna go into my favorite part of the whole makeup look, and if you guessed blush, then you were right. It is definitely blush. A little bit more about me is just, as I stated before, I am very introverted. Honestly, that was the main reason I never started YouTube. I am insanely shy, and honestly, it's not even that I'm like shy. Like, it's not that I like get really nervous. It's just I don't have anything to say. I think a lot of people take that as like I'm stuck up or like I'm just not friendly, and that's not true. It's just I don't know what to say. If you push me in front of a couple of people, yes, I will have to. Like I can hold my own, but I would rather not. I'm going in with some powder blush, and this is Bubble by Persona. This is the cutest little blush color I've ever seen. It's so like bubblegum pink. It's perfect. Because I'm so introverted, I also never get FOMO. So when all of my friends are going out or I get invited out, I honestly have the strongest willpower to be like, no. Because if I want to stay in and just watch TV on my bed with my cats, that is what I will end up doing, because I just literally, I don't get FOMO. Which leads me to my next point of topic, my social life. My social life is very not there. I'm not really the kind of girl to go out every weekend. And that's not bashing anybody who does. I used to have a really good social life too, and I would go out a lot, especially in college. But honestly, ever since graduating, man, I feel like I've aged so much. I'm gonna go in with this shadow on my lids just to bring a little bit of livelihood. So yeah, ever since graduating, my social life has fallen down a little bit. I just don't go out that much, and I also don't go out of my way to make a whole bunch of new friends. Like, I have a very good solid group of friends that I love and that I trust and that have been there for me since forever, through all my hard times. Okay, if you're gonna pick anything from this whole video to take home, it is this eyelash curler. This eyelash curler is amazing for short lashes. I have pretty short and stubborn lashes, and no eyelash curler in the world, I have bought like 3 different ones, no eyelash curler in the world will compare to this one. And I'm gonna show you how you use it. You literally just take it and you just pinch the lash. Look at that. It works, like it works, especially when you put on like waterproof mascara, and I love this one. This is such a good waterproof mascara. It's perfect for short and stubborn lashes like mine. I did the mascara off camera just because it's a little hard to talk and do mascara at the same time. If you know, you know. I'm gonna grab some of that same glitter and also put it in my inner corner. I've pretty much already ran through everything that you would need or would be interested in knowing about me. Things I do on my free time are watch TV. I love watching TV, maybe too much TV. I love my cats, I don't know. Again, I'm kind of boring, but I'm honestly not mad at how boring I am. I feel like I live a very peaceful life, and that's the type of lifestyle I would like anyways. I added some finishing touches off camera. I added some white eyeliner. It always makes my eyes just look so more bright and awake. And I added some pink lip gloss, and this is both of them. You can never go wrong with pink lip gloss. Also, NYX is my favorite drugstore brand. They have so many good products. You could do a full face of NYX and it could look like very similar to high-end makeup. I love NYX. That is the finished makeup look. Very gorgeous, very natural. It's giving like your skin, your face, but prettier. Yeah, very simple, didn't take too long. It's perfect for an everyday look. If you made it this far, then thank you so much, because you have just watched my first YouTube video ever. And I hope that after this video, you feel that we are not complete strangers, because I definitely want to be as open and transparent as I can be on this channel. So definitely subscribe if you want to keep seeing some more beauty content. You guys know I love making beauty content, so that will definitely be a big chunk of this channel. And if you want to see a little bit more about my personal and daily life, even though I know it might be a little bit boring, but my cats will be there, so you have to be there. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video.